but I'm back. So we're one monologue short tonight because Kat Ferris was supposed to be here, and she had a medical situation and could not be here. She was going to talk about her experience as a Planned Parenthood patient greeter, which that's how I know Kat. That's how Emily. This is Emily. Hi, Emily. It's her experience as a Planned Parenthood patient greeter. Thank you. And the protesters and the patients and the volunteers that the protesters that we deal with every day. And so, like I said, with me is Emily, and she is the volunteer leader for the patient greeters. So, just to kind of explain what we're going to try to do is Emily's going to talk briefly about the program. We're going to try and piecemeal what Kat was going to do, so we're not going to be nearly as good as her, but we're going to try. And
just clap, damn it. Okay, just clap.
We're going to do our best. We're going to try and do her proud. Okay, so Emily, you want to talk just a little bit about the program really quick?
Yes. Okay. So the patient greeter program with Planned Parenthood is essentially a group of volunteers who put themselves physically between every single person who walks into the Planned Parenthood clinic and the protesters on the sidewalk. We literally protect every single person, and we don't call them patients because they may not be patients. They may be just coming in for a condom or something. We protect every single person from the verbal, the emotional, and yes, sometimes physical harassment that those protesters do every single day, every single hour that clinic is open. We're all a bit off. You kind of have to be to do it. Some of us are a bit more masochistic and really enjoy some of the horrible things that are said. But we have a good time. We try and find the comedy in the situation while at the same time realizing what an important service we provide. Even if a person never ever realizes what we've done, we have made a huge difference in their life. So that's my elevator pitch on the escort or patient greeter program.
So to kind of deal with the protesters, we play a game. We name them.
We give them nicknames.
And we make up stories about them. Mm-hmm. And we make up pretend Amazon cart lists for them. I know. So we're going to start with our first. So just so you know.
Can everyone see this? Is it in a good place?
The woman behind the bars, we refer to as the Beckys.
Let me tell you about the Beckys. All right. Becky is a singular entity that has been cloned over and over and over again. She has no distinguishing features other than she's in her 20s, usually has blonde, light brown hair, loves to stand outside Planned Parenthood, and holds on to these adorable little gift bags.
And so their new tactic, I'm sure those that remember in the 80s where people would yell baby killer, their new tactic is, let us help you, we have a goodie bag for you, why don't you come see us, have a great day.
And let's be honest, who doesn't want free shit?
Right.
Right?
And who also doesn't want to be told have a great day on what may be the worst day of their life.
Yeah. And they use that. They guilt patients. They make patients feel like, here, look at me. Persons feel like they have no choice but to talk to them. And once they reach for that free stuff, those protesters don't let go of that bag. And they start into their spiel. That spiel isn't blatantly full of lies, full of
Propaganda.
guilt, stigma, all of that. And
Promises, false promises.
lots of false promises.
Yeah.
So they throw that at a patient who just wants to find out what free stuff they're getting and get into their appointment. But suddenly they're stuck for 5 minutes.
I was waiting for that to happen.
I know, I'm sorry. I walk, I pace, it's a thing. So they specifically wait to make sure that those patients then miss their appointments. And they try and keep them so that suddenly they can't go to Planned Parenthood. What they can do instead is go right across the street to a crisis pregnancy center. If you don't know what that is, I recommend you pour a big glass of something and do a Google search because it is a nightmare. So those are the Beckys. You can also see how close they stand right at the fence. Then we have this cute little guy. I'm sure his abortion was very traumatic. But you can also see how close he is. And he is cheating that property line so that he can stop cars as they are entering and exiting the parking lot.
Which is illegal.
Which is illegal, and they don't care. But it's a nice little trip for them. So these are our Beckys and the poor men who've had abortions in the 50s and 60s.
We should call him Brad.
Oh, we know.
Oh, we have a Brad.
We have Brad. All right.
We do. We have a Brad.
We don't
Okay.
have a picture of Brad, but here's the Brad story. Brads come with Becky's because Brads are Becky's boyfriends who desperately want to touch a boob. So they just stand there, usually on their phone, not really doing anything, but supporting their girlfriend so that she'll let him touch her. And those are the Brads. Yes.
So next up, we have Becky's Aunt Wanda.
Oh, Aunt Wanda.
Now, the interesting thing about Aunt Wanda, Becky's, they come on the regular. Like clockwork. It's 9 o'clock, here comes Becky. We have gum chewing Becky. We have Becky who wears inappropriate shoes.
We have gum smacking Becky.
Yes.
Yes.
But
Voltron Becky, any of you who are old enough to understand that reference, you get it. Yes.
But what we're seeing more of is Aunt Wanda's. And these are one and dones. I don't know if they're coming from church. I don't know where they're coming from. They don't know any of the laws. They wander onto the property. They sometimes are pretty mouthy.
That's the editing version.
Yes. So I'm going to share with you Aunt Wanda's click list order. After
That Kat Ferris came up with.
Yes.
All of the Amazon click list orders are all specifically from.
It's a gift she has.
Uh,
Yes. So
you will not beat her. Don't even try.
So her click list order, this is Aunt Wanda's, after volunteering, she's getting cottage cheese, canned pears, insoles, vanilla pudding, and Sominex. You want to do the Amazon cart?
Her Amazon cart consists of capri pants in every color, toenail polish in hot mama fuchsia, L'Oreal hair dye in Jersey cow brown, and Geritol 50 plus.
Okay. This is the man we call him Weezer. And he likes to boss all the women around.
Yes.
He likes to yell at us. He likes to yell at the women walking in. He likes to yell at the Beckys. He thinks that he is in control. And actually, if you look really closely, you can see his phone number on his...
I tried to cut the majority of it out so you can't see it.
You know, if you wanted to give him a call.
But just have a heart attack right now. His name is John Lewis, y'all.
Oh my God.
Come on. Right?
Did you have a question?
I have a statement.
Yes.
Do you know him?
I told y'all the story about my mother.
Yes.
Who taught me to be a warrior. Do you know what her grandma name is?
No.
Was?
Weezer?
Let me say, she accidentally got the license plate that was spelled Weezer.
No.
But really, her name is Weeza. From Steel Magnolias.
Yes, Weezer.
So she's counteracting his energy on the daily from her ancestral place.
Yes. And he was named Weezer because the first day he showed up to protest, he was wearing overalls and a big floppy garden hat. And if you are familiar with the movie, you know Shirley MacLaine mentioned having to grow vegetables in the dirt and dress in ugly clothes. He seemed very appropriate.
I also want to point out, if you notice, there is a great big bus stop. They stand at the bus stop.
Right outside the Planned
And
Parenthood
we
plant.
have bus riders constantly either walk another block away or walk onto our property so they don't have to stand next to these people.
And this is a good picture of him.
I'm not scared to walk up and take a picture. I mean, I'm just not. What are they going to do?
It's also not illegal.
Okay, so I'll do the first part.
Oh, you gonna do Weezer? All
Yeah.
right, here we go.
Weezer likes to yell at patients and at us. It's hard teaching the women's what to do. So last night, Weezer packed his Power Rangers lunchbox full of snacky goodness to keep his energy up. Here's what he packed. Zesty cheddar canned cheese to splat onto a half a sleeve of the whitest saltines money can buy. Tiny gherkins for his tiny fingers. And a bag of Capri Sun. He loves to stab that straw in the bag of juice. Teaching the women's is so exhausting. As a treat to himself, after dealing with the women's, Weezer is going to sit in the waiting area of the salon where the women's go to get their toes painted. So many women's to blab to, and they smell so nice. He likes it when they take their socks off.
And Weezer's Amazon cart consists of Niagara, the liquid form of Viagra.
No.
It's cheaper. Throat lozenges for yelling at those there women's. And tiny, tiny gloves.
Okay.
For the tiny hands.
The next protester is one of our regulars.
Aw, and honestly, he's one of my personal favorites.
We call him Old King David because he usually has a Bible verse on all of his signs.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to talk about?
Oh, old King David. Old King David, he shows up 4 days a week at least.
Mm-hmm.
He's always wearing a sign. He loves to recite Bible verses to you. And one of his other favorite things is to say, "Why do you think God brought us both here at this moment?" I think we should talk about it. And I would love to know your story.
This guy getting laid.
Perhaps, but I don't think he's ever made a girl.
No.
I will tell you, old King David does not want to hear my story. And he sure doesn't want to know why God brought us to that same place at that same time. He loves to dress for the weather. And about every 12 weeks has a fabulous new pair of tennis shoes. Old King David's Amazon cart consists of 10 pair of two-tone tennis shoes for maximum sidewalk grip. The squishiest of insoles. Fruit-flavored Tums, not as good as peppermint.
So true.
Not as good.
It's so true.
But he likes his breath to be sweet as he blows hard at the women's.
Ugh.
But, you know, there's that burping problem.
Ew.
Yeah. He also, of course, includes bumper stickers that look like giant Band-Aids and earplugs for when noisier protesters arrive. He likes to keep it calm.
Okay.
He is a gentle soul. Whoever said that, I know it wasn't April because she's not real.
Okay. So this is Kat, who couldn't be here, and it's Randy. This is Randy.
And if you notice, this is taken just over Kat's shoulder. This is how close protesters are to us, to the parking lot, and to every single person that comes into Planned Parenthood. We see you leaving. Randy is as regular can get. Randy is there every single morning for 90 minutes to 2 hours. Again, I'm sure his abortion was very traumatic for him.
And why doesn't he get a job?
Randy is retired. For a long time, Randy would sit on one of those expandable little stools, and then he disappeared for 6, 8 weeks, something like that.
We thought he died.
We
I mean,
did. We thought he
I
died.
mean, he's elderly. You can't tell from the picture, but he's elderly, and we've had discussions. If he collapses, what is the protocol?
The protocol is go smoke a cigarette and then maybe call 911.
Why are they making the clinic? I was gonna say,
I'm
get
sorry?
him treated at Planned Parenthood.
That is
That'll
actually
do it for
against
sure.
Planned Parenthood policy, so we would not be allowed to do that.
And take a picture. So sad.
Oh my God, I would totally live stream it. Yes, yes. But Randy he is there every single day. And he is very vocal and he screams at every single person, I am here to help you. You don't know what you're doing. You're making a mistake. God loves you. Don't do this. Every single day. And he's just that close. Every single time. So, Randy,
Do you want me to? On
Go
this
ahead.
on this day, Randy
on
was
this particular day,
yes. She said Randy was extra loud and wordy. Perhaps he's been attending the new yoga class for protesters called Strengthening Your Core Pie Hole Muscles. And he was pissed at Kat because the previous Monday when she arrived, he had lured a young woman over who was waiting for the clinic to open. He promises them that they can get a free ultrasound, which may be true, but those that have gone over come back because you have to make an appointment. The plan is we can give you a free ultrasound in a month when it's now too late for you to have an abortion if you want to.
Into Planned Parenthood.
So he had lured a woman over who was waiting for the clinic to open. Kat went over and told the patient that Randy's game, what his game was, told right in front of him. And evidently his face got red, and he was just too flummoxed to say anything else.
Randy is very intimidated by a speaking female. He really doesn't know what to do. He will initially go, you've heard of fight or flight, but there's also freeze. So he won't fight, he won't flight, he just stands there. And then when it's over, he's really mad and just walks away because he cannot deal with a speaking female. And he is there every day. And if you would like to come up and look closer after our presentation, he's actually pointing at Kat. Because they love to just say things to us, try and intimidate us. What else?
For a while, he was keeping track, I think, of how many people went into the clinic.
Absolutely.
Like he was writing down.
They write down the number of people, whether they identify them as male or female, type of car, and their license plates. And that happens every single day. They also take. Did you raise your hand? You're so
did.
cute. Oh my God. Come on, real April. What's up?
Do they heckle the men this way?
Oh, absolutely. Because if the man is there, he is there for a female who is having an abortion.
It sort of depends. If they show up by themselves, and so they ignore them. They ignore them. Now,
Oh, I can be a gay guy.
okay.
Oh, you are a bear, Daddy.
I'll do it.
Yes.
I'll make him as uncomfortable as humanly possible. I swear to God.
So, before we get to the last one, I just want to say the reason why we have pictures of all of these people is that we have been very fortunate at our Planned Parenthood. We have not had acts of violence. Knoxville has not been so lucky. They have had shots fired into
Nashville
the building.
as well.
In Nashville as well, and the Knoxville clinic burnt down. It was arson. So we, as nonchalantly as we can, see the Weezer picture of me where I just walk up and go, Cliff, and just walk away. Get their pictures, and I take pictures of their cars with their license plates.
And I'm not saying that we know anyone who can find out information from those pictures, but maybe we do.
But if there is someone who is violent, if there is someone that we need to, then we have something for the police
Exactly.
that can identify them. So while we're making fun, it also is safety for everyone else. So this is the last picture.
This is an example of what every single patient faces when they get out of their car. As soon as they open that door and step out, they have an angry face staring at them, yelling at them, taking their picture, doing anything and everything they can to keep that person from an appointment and to make them feel an unnecessary guilt. So the patient greeters serve an invaluable place for the people going in and out of that building. Every single shift, we have someone who will literally put their arms around us and say, "Thank you for being here. I was too scared to get out of my car." We have people leaving the clinic saying, "Thank you so much. I didn't know what they'd say because I'm coming out after an abortion." Every single day, this is what they see. So on your chairs tonight, you all had a small business card. See, I told you I walk and I hit things. You all had a small business card, and it says, "Scan this to learn more about volunteering." If you scan that QR code, it will take you directly to a sign-up page where you can go to a volunteer orientation. You can learn more about the patient greeter program, but also other volunteer opportunities with Planned Parenthood. We all know that, well, God, I don't want to say it, but I'll say it. We all know that come June, Roe is done. That means abortion in the state of Tennessee is illegal. Governor Lee is working very hard to make sure that it is also illegal to have Plan B mailed to your home. And if you want to get Plan B here in the state, you have to see a doctor to do it. Once again, additional hoops that people have to jump through just to be able to have bodily autonomy. So, if you are available Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4, Fridays, 9 to 2, and the occasional Saturday, I would love to have you in our ranks.
Men are welcome.
Men are absolutely encouraged, Daddy.
Savannah, what do you have to say?
As someone that works for Planned Parenthood, I'd also like to say we have volunteer opportunities in our media corps. If you'd like to write op-eds, if you want to write a letter to the editor, if you want to be a spokesperson because you have an abortion story, and you want to say this shit is stupid, and I will say that to a camera and put my name on there, please talk to us. Scan this, we will get in touch with you. Lauren, Vincent, Hayes in the back, yes. So, but again, please, it's not limited to this. We have so many opportunities. Whatever your strengths are, whatever speaks to you, we have it. Just talk to us. Thank you.
Absolutely. And right now we need everybody. We need everybody. Our rights for the past 50 years are about to be gone, and it's only the beginning. This used to just be, fantastical TV shows. I will deny that I'm a huge fan of A Handmaid's Tale, but now not some more. because it's going to be Roe, it's going to be Obergefell, it's going to be Griswold, it could be Loving. I mean,
Dominoes.
Yeah.
Dominoes.
Dominoes. The leaked brief specifically says every right in the past 200 years isn't a guaranteed right. So please find extra time, dig deep, have uncomfortable conversations with your friends, your families, your neighbors. Now is the time. We cannot sit back. This isn't just for us, it's for our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren. It's for the future of our nation. So please do anything and everything you can to make sure that bodily autonomy is not left in the dust. And thank you for the Memphis Monologues, Krista! She's my hero!
I want to quickly say, I want to thank everyone who presented. I want to thank everyone who has presented in the past, anyone who's interested in presenting in the future. I know that this was kind of weird coming back together, pandemic and everything, but I am so grateful you all were here. And again, anytime you want to donate, take your programs with you, and have a wonderful night. Thank you.